Hello, welcome back to my channel. As I very much just brushed my teeth and finished putting on my glasses, I just wanted to come on and make a video. I know I usually make videos that are informational and about college apps, and I don't know, for some reason I think it's just time for one of those sit down, chat with me, let's just talk about life, no editing, just talk, you know? I've been finding comments that's like, wow, Iris, you dropped the F-bomb at 013, and it's like, yes, I actually drop the F-bomb quite often in real life, and I actually don't know how these glasses are gonna look in the light, so I'm gonna take them off, but I just want to say, like, I think I just want to be able to convey my personality a little bit better. I think usually when we do these more like informational videos, I think we become kind of in this like presentation mode, and it's almost like I'm presenting to a class and being formal. So I just want to get real with you guys and start doing maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just to sit down and chat, like life update. I don't know what it is, but today we're going to talk about comparing yourself to other people, because I've been seeing those comments a lot. I definitely felt a lot of comparisons in the college apps process, so I'm going to dive deeper into that.
Oh boy, story time, story time, story time, story time.
I think it was end of March. I actually wrote a blog post. I believe it was on Ivy Day or the day before Ivy Day, that I literally wrote a blog post called On Comparing Yourself to Others During the College Application Process, because that was exactly what I was feeling at that time. I was so stressed. All of my other friends were getting into schools. Well, not all of my other friends, but many of my good friends were getting into schools I wanted to get into, and I was so frustrated. So as you guys, a lot of you guys know, I was rejected from schools junior year, and that was really disheartening for me because I felt like I was qualified. I saw my peers who, I mean, they're also qualified, but I felt like I was just as qualified. So I saw my peers who got in and I didn't. And I was like, why is this the case? Like, you know, I inevitably, like probably many of you, I began comparing myself to other people and just getting really caught up in this whole, I don't know what, it's not like a rat race. It's just like in your head, basically. And I think, I don't know, it's like so easy to come out of the process now and be like, oh, none of that matters, you know, like don't compare yourself. It's so easy to say, but when you're in the moment and that goal that you have to get into the college that you want to, is so like present in your life, it's just so hard to actually do what you want to do, if that makes sense. So I definitely struggled. If you guys want to read that blog post, I think it conveyed my feelings at that time much better than I'm able to speak to it now, just because I was in the moment. It was literally Ivy Day, so much stress, and I remember COVID happened and we didn't have to go to school anymore, and that was actually very relieving because, you know, that really took out a lot of comparisons. I know a lot of you guys go to schools that are like pretty competitive, or, you know, where friends are like comparing and talking about the college apps process, and that can really get to you. So I think just withdrawing from that environment for a little bit, spending time on your own, journaling, writing, blogging, anything, just dump your thoughts out and don't hold everything in. I think it's important to talk it out. I definitely shared my thoughts with my mom, my close friends, to just tell them how I was feeling. And I think that's one tip I have for anybody who is comparing yourself to other people. Like, know that that's normal. It's, I think, just a normal human instinct to compare yourself in relations to other people, because that's really the only understanding we have of ourselves in the world. It's really hard to define who we are as a person individually, but usually we define ourselves in the context of others. That's why for standardized tests, you know, they put you in a percentile to help you actually understand what your score means. For colleges, they give you an acceptance rate to actually understand how selective the school is. And all these numbers and percentiles and acceptance rates, that is all comparing you to other people. So I think it's just human instinct for us to compare so that we better understand who we are in society. And that's, it's just sociology, it's psychology, and I think just the best way to deal with it is to, number one, understand that it's natural, understand that if it's happening to you, it's not your fault or anything, it's completely normal. And number two, I think we're on number two now, after you understand that it's normal, try to cope with it in a positive way. So really tune in with your feelings, journal, write, kind of already talked about that, and share it with other people. I think it's great to let it out. And then lastly, try to actively, what do we call this? Like, actively work against it. So a lot of the times when, say, we want to eat junk food, but we know it's not good for us, we can kind of use our willpower to actively work against that. And I think the same is true for comparing yourself to other people. If you feel that, if you are aware that you're comparing yourself to other people and it's bringing negative emotions to you, then you can actively work against that, whether that's with meditation to just, breathe in the positive manifestations and then just breathe out all the comparisons and negative feelings you have. I think that's going to be really helpful. What else? Man, it's just so hard. I think just recognize your own value. That's really important for working against comparisons. Recognize that what you're doing is unique to you. You're on your own path, and no one else is going to share that same journey with you in life. So just really relish in how individualized you are and how unique you are. And just know that whether your path goes uphill or downhill, like, it's all unique and it's all in this one big picture of your life that no one else is going to experience. Ladies and germs, this is Iris back at it again with the glasses, unhappy with what she just said. So I just wanted to add on really fast that another way you can celebrate this idea of being unique and on your own path, no matter going upward or downward, is to make a rejection resume. Now, I know that sounds super duper weird, but rejection resume, it's actually alliteration. It's meant to be. It's, I think, something everybody should do, because our culture just keeps celebrating accomplishments and successes. And I don't know, like, we give medals of medals of participation just to make ourselves feel good. And I think what happens with that is that when you actually face something that doesn't go right, we don't know how to deal with it. So I actually joke to my mom that, because my mom makes fun of me all the time, sometimes tells me I'm dumb, just straight up, or I don't know, just says really mean stuff to me sometimes. But I think just growing up with that, I have become immune to the hateful speech, or what do you even call this? Just bad stuff that happens. I think by forcing exposure to the negative realities of life, I think you're better able to deal with those. So by making a rejection resume, you celebrate that rejections are normal. They're a fact of life. Without rejections, you cannot succeed. So it's all a stepping stone. Rejection is the first step to succeeding. And I think making a rejection resume is just to get rid of the notion that our society has that everything has to be successful and we can only celebrate successes, because I think rejections are the bedrock to success. So without celebrating the rejection, how are we celebrating the success? It's like celebrating a tree without recognizing its roots. So make a rejection resume if you want to really honor the roots to your tree. So I definitely relate, again, even after college apps, with this whole comparing yourself to other people thing on YouTube. So I made a video about, I think it's called The Truth About Being a College YouTuber, and I talked in there about how I just started comparing myself to other YouTubers and how I got really caught up with RP Park. I don't know, for whatever reason that night I watched RP Park and I just felt really down about myself because I wasn't RP Park. And I made a video talking about how I was comparing myself to other YouTubers, and it was just instinctual. And then I think I tried to work around that by just, as we talked about, recognizing that first the comparison is there and that's normal, and then really understanding the value that I am providing that's unique to me and not to RP Park or anyone else. It's just me, and that no matter how this channel does and how my work impacts other people, it's all part of a unique process that no one else is going to experience, and I am just going to relish that because that is what the universe has to offer. So for all of you guys stressed or comparing yourself to other people in college apps or anything else, school, there's so many things, so many opportunities for us to compare to other people. But I think it's also an opportunity for us to really just become more self-aware of who we are as people and try to actively recognize our own value and know that it's unique to us and that no one else can compare to who we are. And it's just impossible to compare one person to another, because that's like comparing an apple to an orange, right? It's not the same thing. You're not the same as me. I'm not the same as you. We can't do the same things, and that's just the nature of life, and that is what makes life so beautiful and awesome. So know, that's about it. That's just what I wanted to say. I wanted to sit in the front of the camera and just talk, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm really open to this and just talking about it. I'll link the video about comparisons to other YouTubers, as well as the blog post about comparing to my friends during the college apps process, down in the description so you guys can check it out. But also, you know, feel free to leave your experiences in the comments. But please, I ask of you guys just one thing, is to be supportive of one another. Please don't put down other people. You know, I think we're all in a pretty vulnerable position here. It's a pretty touchy topic, so just be nice, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.